Good morning, evening, afternoon, good night, good whatever it may be. Hello. Welcome to the Brunch Gimmick here on Love Wrestling. Throw us a like, hammer that subscribe, all that good stuff. Just help us out. Show some love. Let us know if you're here. And let us know what you'd like to chat about here for the next hour between the afternoon or the evening, I suppose. Whenever, like I said, Lawrence, it's afternoon for you. It's morning for me. Yeah. Omar, are you still in the UK?
Yeah, it's 11. No, it's like around 8-ish p.m. So it's at night.
Time zones. We're covering every opportunity for you to get a meal in and chat and wrestling doing it. It's good to see you, friends. Boris, how are you doing? It's been a minute. I missed you on Wednesday. I missed you last night. It truly, actually,
I didn't do a show last night,
week, but it feels like it's been forever.
I'm just here so I won't get fined. No, I'm just kidding. I'm good. I'm a little still under the weather a little bit, but the lady's cooking up some chili, and I'm good.
That's what I'm doing too. I've got a thing of Kleenex if you ever see me off screen or anything like that. It has been very much in the same boat. But shout out to Mrs. Boris. Shout out to my mom because not chili, but she delivered a big thing of soup to the office there on Friday for me. It's been tough. It's been a truly Canadian start to the winter. Blair, are you part of this sick Canadian contingent we've got? Both metaphorically and literally.
I mean, literally, I'm sick, but
You're
like,
sick,
I'm not like.
Let's never do that shit again. No, one more time.
Sick, not illy.
Literally sick.
Do that. Between my mustache and that, we are the least cool wrestling podcast anybody's going to tune into today.
I should have brought out my tech deck there and done a kickflip on screen.
I got my Beyblade kicking around in the back here somewhere.
Thankfully, I'm not sick because I'm a massive suck when I'm sick, and
I am
it's not good for anyone. So I'm still skirting the line right now. I'm doing okay, so I'm okay.
I'm not even going to make the joke. We're not even 5 minutes in, nonetheless. 10. Lawrence,
Lawrence,
are you Team Blair or are you Team Spencer and Boris right now?
I'm Team Blair because it has been insanely warm over here the last week.
Oh, heck you!
We were a week into November and it was 20 degrees,
Oh wow.
make it make sense. Like,
I hate you.
Yeah, I don't like it anymore. Like, I'm now ready for fall weather, and we're getting like still like spring, winter, summer weather.
Well, if you are tired of it, Lawrence, why don't you head out to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada? Maybe this week, but maybe in a couple of weeks' time as we bring you Love Pro Wrestling 32. But I'll plug that later on. I got to say hi to Omar. It's been a while, man. How are you doing? What's new? What's wild?
So
is it rainy in the UK? Am I?
the weather's surprisingly. The weather is surprisingly warm, which is very concerning. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've been MIA for the past few months.
Omar. Have you heard?
Yeah, and the reason being is like because I do community outreach work for like tech and AI machine learning. So like I had to basically travel across different places. So I was recently in Europe, Portugal. So I was like going different places at once. So so because of that, like I've been MIA on creating wrestling content, which is a good thing and a bad thing. But depending on like the fact that I'm on wrestling Twitter now and I don't know who's beefing this time, I'm like, you know what? I did my job. You know what? This is the best thing I've ever heard all day. So
yeah, nobody hates each other right now. It's pretty friggin' great. I bet you we just jinxed it, but that is what it is. There's a new title. I'm sure that's going to cause some controversy. I will say I'm still frustrated that no one has brought back the Saskatchewan Hardcore International title, but that's a story for a different day. The women have a United States Championship as revealed last night by old Nicholas Aldis. I'm psyched. This has been rumored for months, if not years. I guess hoped for is maybe a better way to put it.
Feels like years.
Yeah, rumors have really kicked into overdrive, I guess, over the last few weeks. But Omar, I asked you how you were doing last, so I'll ask you first. Thoughts on the United States Championship and maybe some potential first champions. Who would you like to see as the inaugural female U.S. title holder?
First of all, this is a long time coming. The women's needed a mid-card title for like feels like several years at this point. They should have done it back in like 20, I would say 17, 18. That was when the women's division, I know like the product wasn't as, it was really bad back in like the late 2010s, but one of the things that I enjoyed back then was the women's division, and it was pretty strong from the main roster side of things. And because of that, that was the perfect time to introduce the mid card title, which is interesting because they introduced the the women's tag team titles. And but yeah, like it is a long time coming, and I've said that they should have done it. Although I do prefer if they called it like something like a little bit different, like maybe like the WWE All Atlantic Championship or so, just to give it like a differentiation a little bit between the men's and the women's. But overall, I'm psyched. This is a long time coming, and it's one of those things where the title is, I want to see more of the workhorse titles of just defending the title, like not every week, but at least like every few weeks, similar to what Seth Rollins did with the World Heavyweight title. So I do think that would make sense on my end. And on top of my head, who's going to be the person to challenge? I don't know. Like maybe I think they usually go for like the established names. So I guess Bailey is one of those people.
I was gonna say I don't know who wins it off the bat, but I bet you Charlotte Flair wins it at WrestleMania.
Oh! I was gonna think of that, yeah, because her dad also was a U.S. title holder as well, so that's the other thing. But honestly, I don't mind Charlotte Flair winning the U.S. Women's title. That would make sense. I don't know, like it gives more prestige, I guess. It's cool. And so I don't get the hate for Charlotte Flair in my opinion. Like she's actually very good in the ring. It's just that people are sick and tired of her in the championship picture, which I understand. But even still, like, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, overall, thumbs up for me.
She'll be back at the Rumble. Blair, similar thoughts, different thoughts?
Yeah, I mean,
any thoughts?
Anything to help elevate other wrestlers, I think it's a good thing. Adds another element, another storyline tool. So yeah, I have no qualms about it. It's nice to see the women's division.
$5 word.
Yeah, nice to see the women's division get some more like opportunity. I'll say, kind of raising up the division a little bit. But if I'm going to pick someone for the first champion, I'm going to say I would like Chelsea Green to win it, because I think what better champion to have than to have a Canadian champion as your United States champion.
I was gonna say, is she gonna pull like a Lance Storm from WCW? Just call it the Canadian Women's Championship or something? I don't know.
Saskatchewan
the WCW
Hardcore International title.
Exactly.
Exactly?
Come
We're bringing-
on, everybody. Keep up.
I can't believe that company didn't make it.
Who would have
Yeah.
ever thought? Yeah, I agree. I would have, and Omar, you said this earlier too. I would have liked to have seen. I'm not great with naming, but I would have liked to have seen it been named something other than the United States Championship or something that played off an already existing title. I get why you do it. There's like the instant, not brand recognition, and even credibility feels like the wrong word, but like some sort of weird mix of those, you know. You get that instant recognition, but I really think that this was an opportunity to differentiate the title, and you sort of lost it, naming it, again, the Women's United States Championship. But either way, I'm psyched. I hope that they get this in line in time for Survivor Series. I don't know, did they announce if they're going to be doing a tournament or how it's going to be awarded yet?
Not yet. I don't think so.
Okay. So say they do a tournament, like you could conceivably have that wrap up at Survivor Series, crown the first champion there. I think it'd be a cool way to do it. And again, I say half jokingly about Charlotte Flair, but then it gives it some time to be built up, have some defenses behind it, and then be defended hopefully at WrestleMania. I really think that they needed like a women's singles championship long before they needed the women's tag team titles. That's just my personal opinion, and we've sort of seen how it's gone with the women's tag titles, but a lot of that is because you've had a lot of these thrown together teams or a lot of these fly-by-night teams that have won it, and the titles haven't really been represented well up until, honestly, the last year or so. It's a weird way to put it, but you can't really throw together one person. Like, you can give a lot of these individual women a real claim and a real legitimate claim to having a shot at this title too. I'm psyched. Drew, Becky should be the first champion, but I don't know. I'm in the best of ways. I'm done making predictions for when Becky Lynch comes back. I'm just going to be excited when she does. It'd be so easy for me to say that she'll be back in the Rumble. I doubt it, but if she is, great. I don't know.
Yeah, that WWE schedule.
Yeah.
That WWE schedule is very, very brutal. So like her taking some time off makes a lot of sense. Like the fact that she has, I feel like the fact that she has that kind of power to say, you know what, I'm just gonna stick around for a little bit. Like I'm just gonna stick around, just be at home, taking care of the kid, maybe do my own projects and stuff like that. I think it's good for her. Like I'm happy. I want to see more wrestlers. I want to see a lot of wrestlers just do that, just branch out. But I think it's great. So yeah.
That's what being a star does.
Yeah.
Like that's the best way to put it. She's a Rushmore talent as far as the women's side goes for what my is worth. Like, contract run out, take the time. Because here's the thing, she could return wherever she wants, whenever she wants, and whatever company she chooses to do so. Likely WWE gonna be thrilled to have her. If Becky Lynch called a promoter tomorrow and said, "Hey, here's my rate," would you pay it? You better believe every promoter is gonna find a way to get that money.
Yeah.
But
anyways, for us, United States Championship, Women's United States Championship. Give me some tentative picks, or give me your thoughts.
Did you ask me? Sorry,
I asked both of you. I've got to direct traffic better as a host. Boris, I'll ask you first.
So I got to be the a-hole then. Okay. Speaking as a guy who doesn't watch the product, they've invented 3 championships in the last month. It's all watered down. None of it means anything, and this title will be forgotten in a year, like the women's tag team title was.
What the
speaking as a guy and the speed championship and the gigantic titles that stay in Saudi Arabia. I don't know.
Yeah, but those don't count.
And speaking as a guy, I don't regularly watch the product. I do think that the United States title is a good name. Like, it's a good idea, because I think it puts it on par with the men's title. It's not just some BS. Because if they made up a title, I think that was like the women's Pacific Ocean Championship. There's no cachet, there's no equity in that. Whereas at least this has a little bit of equity in it. Does that make any sense? Yeah. But I don't new titles just flying in and out. I don't know. But I'm speaking as a guy a bit naive because I don't regularly watch the product.
That's fair. I do think, Lawrence, you're not wrong. It doesn't, like, the Crown Jewel Championships don't really count.
Yeah.
As much as
I
they,
mean,
as
fair.
much,
Yeah.
as much as they tried to make them count.
I-
Cody Rhodes did his damnedest.
But
Yeah.
there was $647 trillion worth of blood diamonds on those titles. They got to count for something.
Yeah, that was, yep. Here
Blood
it is.
Diamond, my favorite movie.
These are going to be the most important championships, but we're not even going to bring them home. Okay. What can you do? Florence,
But I'm
I'll give you
looking
the
for
final
the
word
old
here.
master.
Yeah, like I think like this to do it now is a great time, especially considering the class of women that are going to be coming up from NXT soon. Like the NXT women are the like most stacked it's probably ever been in like at least a long time, and the most like talent rich. And they're eventually going to be coming up to the main roster. So I think now, especially now, great time for them to build a lineage with the a women's United States Championship. Like by the time Roxanne Perez comes up, like they don't necessarily, and it gives them a chance to not necessarily be hot shotted or like people wanting them to be hot shotted in the heavyweight title spot. It gives them like a very much like same thing with the Intercontinental title is supposed to do, is like the future,
Like a
the next
stepping
person
stone
up.
almost.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be like the working championship, and like they can very much do that with the this title. Like I think now is a great time because the talent pool is a lot bigger to draw from too. So you can tell that story of you've got space to tell a heavyweight title story. Like again, the only downfall is like potentially the women's tag team championships take a bit of a backseat again, but like you do have enough talent to tell all three different stories there with all three of those titles. I think I think honestly, who should probably win it first? I'm going to agree with Blair and say Chelsea Green. Like I very much want to see Chelsea Green with that title.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I wouldn't disagree with you. I've got a hot take here in a second, maybe a hot take. I do disagree or agree with you. Sorry, I almost completely sewered my point there. I do agree with you, Boris, in that like a lot of these titles are somewhat like watered down in a lot of ways. The thing that I'll argue is like, and again, all comes back to story, but they're going to have another couple of hours to fill here again come January. What with adding another hour back to Raw when it moves to Netflix and SmackDown adding another hour on the USA Network. Like that's going to be moving to 3 hours. So I don't know if the Women's US Championship is going to be exclusive to SmackDown. I don't know if they're going to have a Women's Intercontinental title coming in the next few months or not. But they've got another couple hours of programming. And, you know, there's only, as weird as this is going to sound, because, you know, how many times have we all begged, whether it's WWE or All Elite, that you need more women's stories that don't revolve around the championship or a championship. There are only so many that you can tell in any division without a title being involved, right? I think that this is another great device for them. I think Chelsea Green's a great pick. I don't know. I'd love to see someone, like you say, as a bit of a stepping stone. Shayna Baszler sticks out immediately for me as someone who would be great with a title like that. I can't remember what they're calling the faction. Oh gosh, this is like when the In the Weeds guys were doing their Final Testament bit. What's their faction name? Her and Shayna and Zoe, or her and Sonya and Zoe.
The New World Order.
Perfect. I think you got something with that, Boris.
I will say, watching NXT, I was super impressed with that main event, and there's just a huge, giant block of super talented, like TV-ready star women down there. That you know, so I mean, I'm disproving my own point, but I mean, there is talent to back it up.
The Pure Fusion Collective.
The Pure Fusion Collective, yes.
Yeah.
How could I possibly
that
forget
rolls
a
off the
name
tongue.
like that?
You know, it's
How could
very
I have
catchy.
possibly
Like,
forgotten the name, the Pure Fusion Collective. Oh man, it rolls off the tongue. Jesus,
That sounds like a really
PFC?
crappy vodka you get when you're like 16.
It's right next to Baby Duck. Again, maybe not a hot take, but someone convinced me otherwise. I'm convinced that Roxanne Perez is winning the Royal Rumble this year.
Okay, you better elaborate on that point.
Hey,
'Cause that's-
perfect timing. I don't know if you heard that. I've got my potential hot take. I think that Roxanne Perez is going to win the Women's Royal Rumble this year. I think that with NXT moving over to the CW, and obviously a couple of months ago, but they're looking to continue making a splash. They're looking to really make NXT in ways that they haven't done before, I don't think. A real third brand rather than sort of this developmental that it's been seen as for years. I think that of any year, the Royal Rumble on the women's side is more unpredictable than ever. You know, over the last few years, like Bayley, maybe not an easy pick, but a lot of people would have earmarked her as a favorite. I don't think there's a favorite to win the Women's Royal Rumble this year. And if you're going to take a chance in a year with a bit of an unpredictable or lack of a favorite, and you've got someone who is as ready as Roxanne Perez is, if there's a year you're going to take a chance, I think this is the year that you do take that chance. Somebody tell me otherwise. Somebody prove me wrong.
You know, I had the same exact prediction back in like 2017. I was convinced of my copium. I was like, you know, Sami Zayn is going to win the 2017 Royal. I had this weird like copium. I was like, you know, this is a great time. He's going to be number, I think it was one of the, it was like the early number 5. He's going to win the whole, he didn't win, but even still, like,
I'm gonna bet
it's one of those things.
$10,000 on this. My entire, this is never going to go wrong, dog. The future is mine.
You can only bet offshore now. Okay. They announced that you can't, WWE is not going to let you bet.
Yeah.
Just the offshore accounts.
True.
But I don't know. I just think there's a lot to be gained in it. I think it would and I hate this phrase, but I think it would legitimize NXT in a lot of eyes. I think Roxanne Perez has been like TV ready for years, obviously. She's been ready for a bigger stage for years. She's about ready to get called up. The timeline works out for her to be, you know, it's not as though she hasn't been in the Royal Rumble. She was on the Raw after WrestleMania this year. You know, they obviously see a lot in her. And I think when there's not a clear favorite, like again, a couple of years ago, when Becky Lynch won the Royal Rumble, easy answer, clear answer. Last year when Bayley won, easy answer, clear answer. Ronda Rousey, you know, I know a lot of people maybe didn't like it, but Ronda Rousey, if she entered the Royal Rumble, was going to win the Royal Rumble. Yeah. I don't think there is that clear, predictable winner this year.
No, there's not.
No.
Yeah,
which I
great.
like.
That's
kind
how the
of.
Royal Rumble should be every year, in my opinion, or you hope it would be. But I don't know. If there was an option, if there is an offshore account somewhere that I can bet on wrestling, I would be putting money on Roxanne Perez to win the Royal Rumble this year. Bookmark it. So
what about Corey Jade?
When I seem very smart, great, or when I lose, I can look like an idiot even more than I usually do.
Cora Jade's on TV now, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
returned a couple of months ago.
Okay.
Month ago, whenever their
Maybe,
CW was.
I feel like they would make a heel win it first, right? From NXT.
Yeah, but Roxanne Perez is a big old heel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If not, you know, the obvious Becky returning and winning the Rumble.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe I could see Cora Jade. I don't watch NXT, and in January, good luck to get me to watch NXT if both Raw and SmackDown are 3 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go. If I have to pick an NXT woman, I'm picking Cora Jade.
All right, I see it too. I got a lot of time for Cora Jade. I think the only reason I'd go with Roxanne Perez over Cora Jade would be like just coming back from an injury. I know that doesn't really apply much like storyline wise or booking wise, but like just coming back, maybe a little bit more time in NXT to get the feet wet would be the best way to put it. But even then, I know how much that really doesn't apply sometimes when people want to make shit happen. I don't know. I think an NXT winner makes a lot of sense even this year too. Like Raw, SmackDown, there's not really anybody.
I'll tell you, if
Nia Jax isn't going to win the Royal Rumble, I don't think.
If Tiffany Stratton wasn't Money in the Bank holder right now, I think she would have been a great Royal Rumble winner.
Yep.
I'll give you a hot take. Jordan Grace should win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, she's going to be
Oh.
a free agent that time too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That'd be sick.
Yeah, she moved her. They let her switch her contract up. She's going to be a free agent in January.
Especially if they can kind of get away with the whole like not bringing that up, like kind of keeping that on the down low. I think that could do wonders, especially for their little partnership and just like the hype train behind Jordan Gray. She's been over as heck with NXT when she showed up. If her appearances in the Rumble before, I mean, having her in the Rumble again and even like making it to those last couple, I think that would be huge.
Yeah, that's a great call. That's a really, really great call.
Yeah.
But even then, again, like I just think it speaks to the fact that like A, it's an unpredictable, and B, everybody on Raw sort of like, and I know we're 5-6 months out from WrestleMania, but like everybody sort of seems like they've found their spot, you know, especially with the implementation of the US Championship. Like a lot of the women are going to be vying for that. I could see the US title being one of the ladder matches that they have at Mania this year. You know, you've got the women's championships. I still think it's going to be Rhea and Liv round 3 at WrestleMania. Who we got as the other women's champion?
Is she going to be good to come back for WrestleMania?
I think so. I don't know.
I don't know how long those injuries take. The orbital, right?
Yeah, I don't know either.
I just throw an Undertaker mask on her. She'll be good to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say she could be dashing Rhea Ripley coming back.
This is where they're trying to take a page out of AEW's book and give Rhea Ripley an eye patch. Eye patches solve everything. John Moxley, eye patch guy. Eddie Kingston, eye patch guy. Everybody's got an eye patch. All eye patch wrestling. Let's just get one eye patch. World Wrestling eye patch.
Yeah, I'm into it.
So I still think so on that end of things. Yeah. Jade Cargill could win it, but I think it's going to be her and Bianca, and I don't think that needs a title involved.
Yeah. Bianca needs a heel turn. I'm telling you right now, I'm waiting for that heel turn. Because I love Bianca.
And I respect an opinion, but like somebody tweeted out that Jade Cargill should be the one to turn heel, and I just think absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I think with Bianca Belair, she's gonna carry the whole feud if they actually feud, or when that is, because I think it's happening. But
yeah, I definitely think that should be a Mania match coming out because like they've been building it for a little bit. I feel like they should get the tag team titles off them soon because they are a sort of like the unbeatable tag team right now because like on paper they are like the two of the most like intimidating wrestlers in that division. So like I would like to see them go one-on-one at Mania. Like whoever turns heel, I think it'll work out either way.
Like Goldberg.
If Jade turns heel, if Jade turns heel,
going to be a 20-minute classic. There's no way that goes like 20.
No,
it's going to be like Goldberg and Brock.
8 kisses of death, 14 Jadeds, and down for the count. There you go. Congratulations. I've just booked a match. Going from the United States to Canada, Elimination Chamber coming to Toronto. It's going to be the third time, I suppose, in a row that Elimination Chamber has been outside of the United States, following Montreal and Perth it was last year.
Yeah.
I'm psyched.
This was at the Dome, right? I thought it was at the arena, but it's actually at Rogers Center, right?
This is at the Sky Dome, brother. The first time it's been there since WrestleMania 18. Hogan Rock. Who's going to play off that bit? I bet you we get like an Austin Theory, Grayson Waller spot, and I'm going to hate it so much. We're going to tear down both sides of the crowd, Austin Rock style, and we all boo and everybody.
It takes clear silence.
No, we'll boo. It'll get great heat. I'll love it. I'll really love it. Also, it could potentially be John Cena's final time in Canada, pending the WWE schedule next year. I think it would be appropriate. Toronto was where he announced this retirement tour at Money in the Bank last year. It could be apropos to have him make his final appearance in Canada in Toronto.
$5 word.
Thank you. This could be like a North American tour, much like we've all seen as Canadians, where they only
hate that.
go to
Don't get
Toronto.
me started on that.
The dumbest thing in the world.
That's what it'll do. John Cena North American tour, and it'll be Toronto only, and maybe Vancouver.
Yeah, Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver. F the rest of you.
Montreal barely gets we are like. We don't get as much as you think.
Montreal, but
No?
Vancouver sort of replaced you in that.
Yeah, because Vancouver's close to LA, which is why they do tours.
fair.
Yeah.
Edmonton gets a few now because Rogers Place has like the technology.
Look at Blair. I'm
That'll
just going to
go.
adjust my hat a little bit.
Battledome's a bad time.
Excuse me, I'm just so goddamn jacked.
By the way, is that it?
Oh.
Kudos on the All Japan Women t-shirt. That's rad. Where'd you get
Thanks.
that from?
I ordered, I think it was from Dismantled Chiba on Instagram.
Oh,
He's got
that's
some
cool.
fantastic shirts. I had this one
Respect.
tucked away and was like, hey, I'll pull that out today.
That was not the name I expected to hear. It's like hearing alternative indie bands from the early 2000s named the lowest postal rates in history. Anyways, very excited for Elimination Chamber in Toronto. I think John Cena is winning Elimination Chamber in Toronto.
I could see that.
I
think
could see that too.
That's how you're going to set up Cena and Gunther at WrestleMania. And that is just...
And he's gonna take another L, which sucks.
Cena?
But
Oh, hell yeah. He's
Yeah.
going to get the ever-loving hell chopped out of him at WrestleMania as the hope. I love me some John Cena. Don't get me wrong.
and
But
his
I
promos
also
too.
I love. Oh, this is going to sound like such a bad way to put it, but like John Cena when he's down on his luck and when John Cena is like at his lowest in pro wrestling, storyline-wise, is when John Cena is at his best and his most interesting wrestling-wise. It can't all
So,
just be like
and the
a
best part-
happy-go-lucky retirement tour. John Cena needs to
The
face
best-
adversity outside of his bald spot.
And the best part about John Cena is that he's always gonna start the promo with fine speech. When he says fine speech, you know it's over. It's over. When he says fine speech, it is all over. So Gunther better be praying, you know.
Gunther is destroying everybody on the microphone right now. He, you know what? It's so simplistic, but I love it. He destroys Bret Hart and Calgary by saying Goldberg's his favorite wrestler, and then basically just changes his mind 2 weeks later. And I love the consistency.
Yeah.
And hi, Goldberg.
He's
By the
low-key
way, you're
hilarious.
not my favorite wrestler. I lied, and also suck it.
So
Yeah, he's hilarious. He literally,
Gunther is like everyone on wrestling Twitter.
Yeah.
I hate everything, and
that dude literally pronounced the Arabic word for saying peace in Crown Jewel. He's like, "Assalamu alaikum, everyone." That was hilarious. I'm using that meme, by the way. I'm literally using that on Twitter.
yeah, Gunther could do no wrong other than getting sort of rolled up 1, 2, 3 by Cody Rhodes, but that is what it is.
Yep.
We're also getting Gunther and Damian Priest, and I will say I have to retract from last week. I still don't know why this is the match, to be honest with you, because Gunther versus Dominic Mysterio writes itself. And the only way that I think I'm going to accept this is if we get Gunther and Dominic Mysterio at the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
I don't get it. Is that just me? I love me some Damian Priest, but why are we going back to this?
I think Priest is just they didn't want two mega heels going up against each other. Clearly,
Dom's a fucking baby face.
Yeah,
Let's
he's
get
still
real
like-
here at this point.
he's still a heel.
Dominic
He's still a
Mysterio,
heel.
You put him up against an opponent like Gunther, Dominic Mysterio, you could turn like that. You could turn him yesterday.
Yeah.
And as soon
Yeah,
as you do, he's going to be out selling Cody Rhodes.
I
believe that because I said that about MJF. When MJF was deep in his heel thing, I said, give it 8 months and he's going to be a massive, massive baby. And he had that small little baby run. And I think the best, smarmy dick-ass heels, because you want to cheer for him because he's such a good smarmy dick-ass heel that when you're allowed to, then, you have good times. And he'll move merch for sure.
I'm very ready to cheer Dominic Mysterio. You know what's going to go like hotcakes? You know what's going to sell like mad? Dominic Mysterio mullet wigs. There's a free idea for you. That's gonna go like nobody's fucking business.
With a mustache also.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Dominic Mysterio glasses with the fake mustaches attached. There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
and don't forget, Dominic Mysterio, allegedly speaking, he went to prison, and the prison changes a man. So, people can relate to him, in some way. They're like, we like the
They
cool
do
bat.
anything nowadays, apparently. So
Yeah.
I'm ready to cheer Dominic Mysterio.
Yep.
I'm ready for it. So yeah, you should have. I would have been very, very happy to see him go up against Gunther. I don't know. I think that whether we want to or not, or whether they want to keep him as this mega heel or not, and it's not as though it's not working, but you could turn him like that. You could absolutely do it.
See,
I just
I'd
something they
like
can
to see
keep
that
in
as
their
a
back
sort of
pocket,
tension between him and Liv. Like that'd be a cool little wrinkle between him and the Judgment Day, because I don't think Dominic Mysterio is long for the Judgment Day either.
It's too big for it.
Yeah, he's too much of a star.
I'll just say I'm still a little hesitant on if he can be a fully good babyface. Like I think he's grown a lot as a heel.
As a heel.
But yeah, like he hasn't been babyface since the very beginning. So I am intrigued at the possibility of him being a full-on babyface, but like he is I'm still not 100% sold that he can do as well as a babyface. Like
If anything, you know what? I actually feel like maybe whenever Finn is done with his beef with Damien, maybe they kick out Finn and Dominic becomes the leader of Judgment.
Or Dominic Mysterio, first women's U.S. champion.
Oh, exactly.
Oh yeah, those James Ellsberg or whatever his name was.
Oh God,
who won the first women's Money in the Bank?
Absolutely, what we need to be seeing in 2024. But yeah, I'm not in on Dominic Mysterio like a lot of people are. I just don't. I know that I think he's a better heel than he would be as a babyface. Even though some claim that he's a babyface right now. But
it's funny that Boris.
I would actually like.
It's funny that Boris. Okay, go ahead, Drew.
I want to see him mainly as a heel because I saw him as a babyface, and yeah, that was while he was not as established of a character as he is now. But there's no way that Rhea and Damien just take him back after everything that he did, right?
They don't need to, though. You don't need
what
to.
Is he just by himself as a babyface?
Keep him tied to the Judgment Day for right now. Like I said, I think it'd be a cool little wrinkle between him and Finn and JD and I don't know, is Carlito still with them? Carlito still, then Carlito. Yeah. Like, I think that'd be cool.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad somebody did. It's the mustache. It's made me more witty. Speaking of, if you guys want to, I'll throw the link out on the Twitter machine. I am not growing this for anybody's pleasure, nonetheless my own. I am raising funds for the Movember Foundation. We've raised $300 so far. I've raised, I should say, on the way to $3,000 for my shoot job with the Sherwood Park Crusaders. Be very appreciated. There's my cheap little shill. Speaking of great mustaches and Dominic Mysterio. I don't know. It's one of those things for me where I think you've sometimes got to go with the hot hand and you sometimes need to be a little reactionary in pro wrestling. And yeah, he's still getting great heat, but I think that if you capitalize, you turn him babyface and you start to run with them a little bit in a way that you not aren't right now, but you're running with them as a heel. I just think that there's something to be said for it. There's something to be said with going with a hot hand. Because people were psyched when Carlito and him were talking backstage there 3 weeks ago. And he said, I'll go get you. You could be a heavyweight champion. Like everybody laughs at him. There's something to be said there.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't know
not
if there's a
today.
way you can
Maybe
do
not
it.
tomorrow.
But it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be absolutely massive.
He's gonna cash in his United States Women's Championship for a shot at the big gold.
Oh yeah.
Why does when Boris
option U?
Why does when Boris say talk about Dominic Mysterio winning the title? It reminds me of when Harvey Whippleman won the women's title all those years ago. That was a long time. I don't know. That was a weird reference I just made, but it brought back that memory. I was like, I don't know why, but yeah.
Respect, my friend. Respect.
Santina Morella.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sometimes I love this industry. Well, most of the time I love this industry, but sometimes.
Sometimes.
Oh, the fact Beth Phoenix had to stay in the ring bleeding to do that fucking spot drove me insane. That was the dumbest goddamn thing. They kept her in the Royal Rumble. They wouldn't let her leave because she was like gashed to do the
I
Santina
remember
Morella
that
spot. That was the dumbest fucking shit.
I can't believe we're talking about the Royal Rumble already. I'm
Yeah.
so very, very excited.
Well, like
On the
we're-
men's side, while we were talking there earlier
Yeah.
about Roxanne Perez, any thoughts on the men's side of the Royal Rumble? I do have a couple more things I want to chat on from like SmackDown and that, but maybe real quick, maybe not some way too early Royal Rumble predictions, but some slightly too early.
It's like I think probably at this point, probably CM Punk wins. One of them I put him
Same. I was gonna say CM Punk.
that they're gonna put him in a title. It's either gonna be like he either wins it before. Like I could, if it's not him, maybe like Cena or thing. But like it depends if they're gonna pull the trigger earlier on him and Seth because they've teased it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be Seth and Punk at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Whether or not the title's involved, I don't know. How you get the title involved, I don't know.
yeah.
But I do think Bronson Reed will have a big presence at the Royal Rumble. I think he's gonna have that Kane kind of moment in 01 where he's just gonna eliminate a bunch of people. So that's just my prediction, and that's something I want to hope for. But that's just me though, just giving that big monster kind of heel in that presence at the Royal Rumble. But that's just me.
Oh, I'd love to see it. Bronson Reed has been one of, if not the most entertaining parts of WWE.
Monday night.
I guess, the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Not even Raw, like coming out and like splashing Braun is absolutely a blast. Coming out and screwing Seth in the 4-way, like he's on. They haven't had a monster like this since like the early days of Braun Strowman.
Oh yeah.
So even Braun Breaker is very, very different.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a freight train and a bowling ball. Like they're two very different things.
I know who I'd pick in a fight.
I don't know, man. Have you ever had a bowling ball thrown at you?
No, but I've never had a freight train thrown at me either.
Well,
Yeah, well, they're a lot harder to pick up. That's the tough part.
Bill Goldberg will win the Royal Rumble.
Get out. Boo.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It'll be John Stamos.
Oh my God.
I don't want any of that. I don't want any.
How they could put that guy on television again, like in a professional wrestling ring, is beyond me.
I just don't. I don't have the desire. And go ahead, have your last match. You've earned it.
No.
But I
know what we're talking about.
I just don't want to watch. I don't want to watch that sloppy piece of shit, Bill Goldberg.
We know what's going to happen.
That
So
was a really, really, really bad one on my end of things, and I apologize. But I don't know. I've got no interest. Like even with Brock and some of the guys that Goldberg's come back and faced, at least there was a reason and there was some intrigue, in my opinion. I don't want to watch Goldberg and Gunther.
I don't want to watch Goldberg and anybody.
Yeah.
No.
Anyways,
In fairness, I don't want to watch Brock and anybody either. I'm over that.
yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
we'll see him
Same.
back?
I
This is
agree.
too
just
controversial.
using for comparison, I don't need to see Brock Lesnar either. Don't get me wrong there. Just for like when he came back in 16, there was a reason. There was the untold yada yada yada. Like Goldberg's just coming back to wrestle and hopefully put someone over. But we don't know.
So came on the show today and has jokes.
Yeah. I like to think so.
Mhm.
I like to think so. I think Roman Reigns is winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I could
that's
see
as good a
that.
pick as any, really.
I think Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble. And I don't know if I hope he is, but I hope Cody Rhodes is still the WWE champion going into WrestleMania. Or I could see him like losing the title to The Rock at the Royal Rumble.
See, I don't want to see that either.
I don't either, but I think it's going to be it's either going to be Roman Reigns who wins the Rumble or Randy Orton's going to become a 3-time winner, and he'll go.
Like,
John Cena.
I don't want to see Rock at all. But again, maybe it's because I'm an old bastard and I've like
I
watched
think
the whole
you're-
career. I don't need it anymore.
I think
I
you're
might
going to
be
get
in the
to Rock.
minority.
You're going to get to Rock and Roman. You're going to get to Randy and Cody. The title's going to be involved in one of those matches. I don't think, nor do I want really like a triple threat between Rock and Roman and Cody, like a lot of people have talked about. I don't know.
Well,
I
it
think
seems
it
like we're gonna
happening.
get a bit of time before Randy ends up turning on Cody because of this whole KO storyline right now. So maybe Randy. I think John Cena is winning the Rumble personally. I know you said the Elimination Chamber,
Yeah.
but I kind of feel like to cap off his final year, a Royal Rumble win is. He's won the Royal Rumble before, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Been a while though.
He was won it twice.
A couple of times.
I was going to say he won for sure the
Um,
year that he came back from the pack, which was what, 08?
Was
I
that the
think.
MSG?
Yeah, it was 2008. Yeah,
And
So-
I can't remember his second.
Maybe then
that was 2013, aka twice in a lifetime.
There we go.
or maybe Randy turns on Cody by Rumble. Say, I feel like that's probably good because the KO thing is going to go on for a little bit, and then Randy wins the Elimination Chamber and faces Cody at WrestleMania.
Maybe. I don't know. I like the idea of Cena winning the Elimination Chamber as like the last shot. I think the Rumble's too. It's the weirdest way to put it because like it should be a storybook ending in a lot of ways for John Cena. It really should, but like I feel like giving a Royal Rumble win is too easy. I just do. I don't know. I like the idea.
If they make the storyline interesting, the John Cena retiring, do you want to have one of those like? Remember when Ric Flair was like? I think there was a stipulation in 07 where if he loses a match, he's basically out of WWE like forever. Do you want that
when he loses, he
stipulation as well, just to make it more interesting? Well, like this, so whenever you watch, like, is he gonna win? Is he gonna win? Because he has to at some point, you know. So
I think he's already said
you
this
can
is
make it
his
more.
last year, though, so that's kind of a moot point. And
Yeah, and like he's already has announced
That could be
dates. Like they already announced
Yeah,
dates.
that's another thing. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
he should go out on his back, but I mean,
I could get
exceptions
will
to every
lose it.
rule.
Cena will lose it to Orton eventually. I think Orton's going to be Cena's last match, but like for me, so yeah, Orton gets through the KO stuff. I think he eventually turns on Cody, whether or not that happens before or at WrestleMania. But I think that's going to be the match. Eventually, Randy takes the title from Cody, and Cena challenges Randy Orton to try and win number 17. And I don't know.
Damn, Cody's gonna have a lot of. Cody's gonna have trust issues now. First it's Kevin Owens, then it's Cody. I mean, then freaking Randy. It's crazy.
But the cool part is a lot of it can be tied back to Cody and the bloodline. And I don't know. I like the way that this whole story is developed and like sort of the auxiliary parts now involving Kevin and Randy. Because that's been the biggest thing with KO turning on Cody Rhodes was, why are you helping the bloodline after everything they did to me and us? I love it.
Yeah,
But
true.
I don't know. I think Roman Reigns, and whether or not that it's I think The Rock's going to have the title. That's just my prediction, because otherwise it's going to be Cody and Randy with Cody with the title.
Rock and Cody still have to have their program together. So,
well, and that's why I think it's going to be, you could have Cody versus Rock at the Royal Rumble, and The Rock's going to be the guy to beat Cody Rhodes. If The Rock tried to politic for beating Cody last year or beating Roman last year, you think that he's not going to try again this year, and eventually you're going to placate. Sounds like a bad way to put it, but I think The Rock at some point is going to be a 7-time WWE champion.
Or The Rock could just go away and never be seen ever again. But, you know.
And that's speaking ideally, but speaking realistically.
Yeah.
See,
I think that The Rock's going to beat Cody for the title at the Royal Rumble. Like, I think you'll see The Rock at Survivor Series in some way, shape, or form.
I think I do think Cody loses the title at Royal Rumble, and we do get Cody and Rock at WrestleMania without the title, because I don't think it's a match that needs it. But I do think Cena comes up short at the Royal Rumble, wins the Elimination Chamber, and I think he wins a world championship at WrestleMania. One more title run, he's going to lose it and put someone over that way. I think he
or The Rock could be the first ever women's U.S. champion.
Ooh.
That's also fair. I don't know. I think
On a side note, how hot garbage does that Rock Christmas movie look like? I mean, someone just let him make films anymore.
Oh, I'm going to watch it, though. I'm very excited.
Really?
I'm not.
Yeah, it'll be like watching the New Day Undertaker Choose Your Own Adventure movie. Like, you've got
that was
that
at
a
least
thing?
fun.
Is it
Yeah,
Santa
that's
Slay
That was
too?
fun.
Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
Netflix. You can watch it right now, Boris. I did it.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Is the Rock Christmas movie
Yeah.
Santa Slay too?
No,
No, it's
unfortunately.
Red, I think, or Red.
That's actually
Red
Bill
One.
Goldberg's retirement movie.
Yes, Santa Slay.
Yeah, where was I going to go with that? I forget what I was saying. I like the idea of Gunther being like the great spoiler for John Cena's like dream retirement run. You know what I mean? Cena has a misstep at the Rumble, but he powers through and wins the Elimination Chamber and then runs into a fucking brick wall in Gunther. I like that idea.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I don't like the idea. Maybe it's just me, but I don't like the idea of a triple threat between The Rock and Roman and Cody. Because I know the story calls for it, but like there needs to be that one-on-one between The Rock and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So I think you get there by The Rock beating Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, or at Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble. Which
I agree.
So then Rock faces Roman at WrestleMania, you say?
Yeah. Roman wins the Rumble, challenges The Rock for the WWE Championship. Yeah.
Question is, when are we gonna get Rock and Roman? That's the other thing. We gotta do one of these.
That's what I'm saying is I think that's happening at WrestleMania.
I think that's
don't
main
think it's gonna
eventing
be-
night 4 of WrestleMania.
It could.
Night 4.
It's going to be part of the collective this year, actually, first.
On a completely unrelated note, how great of a tag team would Gunther and Rusev be? That literally
I don't know what's
popped into my head.
happening with Miro, but like he's got to be coming back after his contract runs out, right? Like there's been nothing since his release request. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
So I think
The funny thing is, I enjoyed his run in AEW for a little bit. That was one of the only times where the TNT title was actually more, what do you call it, prestigious. Like he actually made that title look extremely good, and it reminded me of his US title run. So it was great. So
guys, uber talented. If the stuff that is coming about booking and not wanting to do jobs and that sort of stuff is coming out, I can understand how it would be hard to facilitate getting them on TV every week too. Like
that's true.
That is the tough part. Like it's got to be working on both sides with everybody. It's the same stuff with like this whole Penta Phoenix AEW stuff. Like everybody's in the wrong.
Yeah.
Go in.
I mean, Jim Ross once said,
runs out, leave. Like that's
Jim Ross once said, it's always the two C's: creative or cash. And this is one of those things where it's more in the creative side. So
Nah, I can't speak to it. I don't quite have the deep pockets. Anyway,
Oh, wait, I have the best.
Okay.
Wait, the best Royal Rumble winner for the men, Dominic Mysterio.
there we go. Turn the
Yeah.
baby
Yeah,
face
there
going
we
from
go.
1 to 30, just like his dad did.
Could you imagine the pop? It would be
If-
fantastic.
If Dom went from 1 to 30, I don't think Dom's a bad shout for number 1. I think it'd just be funny to have him come out first.
He should break Kane's
Is it-
record.
and
What's
then
the
he's-
record for most eliminations in one Rumble? Is that still Kane? He
I
should
think it
break
was
that.
12
No, that's
12
Roman. I'm pretty sure that's
Oh, does
Roman.
Roman have it? Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's Roman.
You're probably right.
I don't think it's Roman.
2014.
I think it's Brock now after 2020. When he came in and entered first and eliminated
Oh, yeah.
Drew. I could be wrong, but I could also be right.
It is so weird to look back and think that happened. Like it seems like such a long time
All right,
ago.
now technically
Time
there's a
ago,
tie.
I know.
I just Googled this. I'm sorry to interrupt. That was rude of me. There's technically a tie of 13. Brock Lesnar in 2020 and Braun Strowman in the Greatest Royal Rumble, which doesn't count.
No.
That
Brock
doesn't count.
Lesnar has that. Until that title is defended, I don't count the records. That's it.
Yeah, that one doesn't
Until you
count.
defend the Greatest Royal Championship or Undertaker comes back and defends his Kuwait Crown trophy or whatever the fuck that one was.
Jeff
Or
Jarrett
Kuwait- the
defends the
Kuwaiti
Texas
Cup?
Chainsaw Massacre title.
Now that one's an
Yeah.
exception because
We
that
should
one
watch that
actually was
Greatest
awesome.
Royal Rumble on stream one day, Spencer. I think that'd be fun.
That is Jericho's last WWE match.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The Greatest
Yep.
Royal
Wow.
Rumble match?
Greatest Royal Rumble was his last appearance at WWE because he entered at number 50.
Interesting.
Was that the
Last-
Titus O'Neil?
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it was.
It was Jericho's, and that was the one I think Daniel Bryan set the all-time Royal Rumble time record. If we're
Oh
counting.
yeah,
it.
his
he was like an
chest
hour,
was bright
hour
red.
and 16 minutes, and his chest looked like hamburger helper,
Yeah.
like
I-
pre-cooking.
I did watch Danielson and Lesnar at Survivor Series earlier today.
All-time great match.
That is such a good match. Just how
Yeah.
many
I'm just
people were
popping in
getting.
for my weekly hello.
Hi, Mrs. Boris.
She's making chili. How's the chili coming
I
along?
haven't started.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
get down in the kitchen. Make me a sandwich.
Hey!
Whoa.
Hey!
Oh,
Inappropriate.
come on now.
Inappropriate.
I know.
Listen, I was just told I was inappropriate.
Yeah.
Guys, I know.
Yeah, you're getting scolded,
Oh my
Boris.
God.
Yeah, that was Jericho's last match. They also had a guy that was a sumo wrestler because apparently the Saudi crown prince.
Wanted
Wanted
to-
Yokozuna, yeah. That was funny.
it's like sad, funny, like
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, it's not like a
Oh,
ha
it's-
ha. It's like a ha ha.
What if it was really sad about it when he found out, when somebody had to break it to him?
Yeah, Yokozuna's been
Yeah.
dead since like what, 1997?
It was
Yeah, people
99
were-
when he passed away.
Yeah, people
Yeah,
were
I
making
believe it was
jokes.
99 when he passed.
People were
Yeah,
making
so-
jokes that the Saudi prince was like, "Oh, he's in 1995 and his Raw watch along right now."
That would make
Uh-oh.
some sense.
He's gonna
Anyways.
love Hakushi and Bret Hart. Like he's gonna love that stuff.
Oh boy.
I think that's a good way to close the brunch out, boys. Don't you think? I think that's a good way to shut this one down. There's our
Yokozuna
recommendation
passed away
for
in
the week.
2000.
Yeah,
Was it
but
2000?
tune
Yeah, it
in
was
to
2000,
Hakushi and
yeah.
Bret Hart. Just tune into all of that. Blair, for your excellent recommendation, I'm going to let you let the people know where they can find you first.
You can find me every weekend on this channel doing For Exposure with my good friend Pluggo, who has an incredible interview with Marco Stunt available
check that
to
out.
watch up on the
Yes.
wrestling feed. So please check that out. We do For Exposure, a look at the world of independent wrestling. It is a lot of fun. We just our last episode, we had Mackenzie Morgan on, and she won the Third Coast Wrestling Women's Championship last night, defeating Shaz McKenzie. So huge props to her. And I think we're recording with Para Lira on Monday, so you should watch for that. And you can find me up on all social media, Great Make Wrestling Podcast.
Drew, you want to plug your shit?
This time, yes. This time.
Then plug your stuff.
Okay. So firstly, usually I have my Twitter thing down here, but I am taking applications for any country that would like to have me, and so I'll just be a proud citizen of insert any, most any, at all. Although if I'm American right now, maybe I have dual citizenship with different country.
Got an
But I'm
offer.
not gonna go there. Now,
Sandy.
okay, maybe Germany. I don't know if I can live with Sandy.
I don't know about Germany.
Great country.
Given
very
what's going on
warm.
politically, I don't know about Germany. I don't
Yeah,
know about that. But
Well, probably I'm a citizen of Russia now too, but whatever.
You're technically
Oh.
signed up for the Army Reserves as well.
Yeah. You can find me on this lovely channel hearing firmly WWE and firmly AEW with Mr. JPJ, my wonderful, wonderful co-host. And I also am on, I was not just on last night. I collect the super chats and humber chats for Fightful's AEW Collision post show on Saturday night with Rick Cresta and Iridian. We have a great time there after Collision every night, every Saturday. And Sandy keeps wanting a firmly NXT, but I'm not watching 14 hours of WWE a week, pal.
I need your thoughts on Lexus King.
Yeah, I want a Lexus King only podcast.
Oh God,
Firmly Lexus King.
Firmly Lexus.
firmly Lexus King. I will not ask JPJ about that. So my Twitter, for as long as Twitter is around, is at the Drew Nicholas. I do have a Blue Sky. It's Big Money Drew dot whatever the Blue Sky thing is. So just look me up there. And there's my my plugging.
Omar, where can the people find you?
other than me creating machine learning models for pretentious asshole clients, you can find me on the site formerly known as Twitter at Arma the Player Guy.
I enjoyed that. I
but
don't know why.
I
That was
don't-
fantastic.
I don't know. That was funny. I also have a Blue Sky, and for some weird reason, I've been getting a lot of followers. I'm like, I think I promoted it maybe one time. I gained like 100 followers today. I was like, what is going on? So shout out to the folks who follow me on. And you could go and follow my podcast, best things about wrestling, where I talk about the best things about pro wrestling in every single month. It's on hiatus because I'm working on a video. My first ever video essay, which hopefully will be up this week because the editing has been killing me right now with travel and all of that stuff. But yeah, hopefully it'll be up around this week because it's my first video essay and I've put in a lot of effort into it. So it's pretty interesting topic. So yeah, just best things about wrestling on my YouTube channel. So, and I make a lot of shorts as well from my podcast highlights. So best things about wrestling. Yeah.
Lawrence,
Yo.
the people are looking for you.
Yep.
Tell them where they can do so.
First off, I just want to address this commenter. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced D-Roo. D-Roo. I do not blame you. I blame Pluggo. I blame Pluggo. He did not deliver the state of Indiana like he promised. This is all his fault.
Damn. Okay.
Yep. We all know it's true. But yes, you can find me at CartSandyG, also on Blue Sky. I'm using it more as that site's, the other one's about to become even more unbearable because the owner of it is got exactly what I wanted, and it's a straight up nightmare. But yes, to answer your question, Sandy, it's another social media like Twitter that has less racists, which is nice. Is always the point. But yes, you can follow me on there. I'll be on there more, and you can catch me here next Sunday on the Brunch Gimmick.
I just got a follow from somebody on Blue Sky whose name is the Bitch Maker. So,
Nice.
so we don't know yet
You made it, dog.
what's going to become of Blue Sky. Just want to say.
All right.
That's
There's an
the
ad
winner.
if I ever heard
Maybe
one.
we shouldn't be advertising it.
That's the winner of the Royal Rumble, the bitch maker.
Yeah.
Entering at number 30.
You
Big
could be a
Bad Boris.
feminist. You could be a feminist. You don't know. He voted for Kamala.
Go to the profile. Boris, where can the people find you, brother? Me.
Now, Spencer Love, I'm glad that you asked me that question because there are so many places that you can find Big Bad Boris. For example, you can find me on the social media gimmicks right there. Wednesday night, you can find me doing the AEW Dynamite watch along with a specifically edited opening video so I don't get in trouble again. You can also find me this Saturday. Saturday Night Love returns 10 p.m. Mountain, midnight Eastern. This is a breaking news announcement. We are going to play, it's game show night with the Rads, baby. That's what's going on this Saturday night. It's who knows who best in the Rads. But Spencer, do you know something? Do you know the most important place on this planet, if you geo-track me where you can find me, is Friday night, November the 22nd at the Rec Room, Edmonton, for Love Pro Wrestling 32, whatever, never mind, here's Wonderwall, whatever the fucking show is called. Main event, Mars the Specialist taking on Kushida. We've announced tag team title match. We've announced all kinds of things. There's debuts. If you cannot be there live by getting a ticket at Tixter.com/LoveWrestlingCA, you can watch that show LIVE live on the IWTV for a very, very low price. There's tons of content on IWTV as well as Love Pro Wrestling, so it is very much worth your wrestling dollar. I just plugged 87 things in 1 minute and 32 seconds. Thank you very much for watching the Brunch Gimmick. Good night, everybody.
Saves me having to do much. You can follow us at Love Wrestling CA wherever podcasts are played, videos reviewed, or awesome content is created by awesome people. As Boris mentioned, make sure you pick up tickets for LPW 32. Anyway, here's Wonderwall at the Rec Room, South Edmonton Common on Friday, November 22nd. If you want to follow me, you can find me on Twitter at Spenny Love. You can find me on Blue Sky at the Bitchmaker. But
you know, I'm on Blue Sky and I have one follower and it's JPJ.
I don't have is Blue Sky winning? I was a Threads guy.
Yeah.
Is Blue Sky is it winning this battle between?
Yeah, it seems like
I
everyone's
don't know.
jumping there.
I find it very difficult to keep up with all these things. I don't know where to post. I posted. I don't know where to, when I have a thought, it's always been Twitter because that's been the place to go. But if it's not Twitter anymore, and I've got a Threads and I've got a Blue Sky, where do I go to post? Do I post the same thing in both places?
Follow me at Nexopia, and
I just scream out the window now. Peanut butter cups are my favorite Halloween candy.
We're bringing back carrier pigeons, everybody, right here on Love Wrestling. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back here, same bat time, same bat channel next Sunday for another edition of the Brunch Gimmick. Our next live stream will be here on Tuesday morning, firmly WWE with the handsome Drew Nicholas and the also handsome JPJ. We'll see you then, though, friends. Thank you for tuning in. Sandy, thank you for being here. I follow you on Instagram and I don't think on Facebook, but Facebook's for me. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. We'll see you on the next one, homies. Peace out.